Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the electrifying world of EFED Broadcast Channel. Before we dive into the heart-pounding action, let's set the stage with a brief disclaimer. The following content is an EFED Broadcast Channel event created within the WWE 2K universe. All characters, storylines, and events are fictional and exist solely for entertainment purposes. Any resemblance to real-life individuals, living or deceased, is purely coincidental. Viewer discretion is advised. This show may contain intense simulated combat, dramatic rivalries, and over-the-top personas. It's all in good fun, but please remember that these are digital avatars, so grab your imaginary popcorn, suspend your disbelief, and let's get ready to rumble. Now, let the virtual battles commence.
I like your take on boobies. And I like boobies.
Gun, higher.
I am the higher.
Don't
Test
higher.
gun. I am the higher gun.
Don't
Test me.
I am the
I am the
I am the higher gun who bout to set it off. Watch me leap from the top with the coup de grace. It's scary hours for you and all of y'all. How you want a submission to pinfall? I am the higher gun who bout to set it off. Watch me leap from the top with the coup de grace. It's scary hours for you and all of y'all.
And welcome to the TurnBuckle Talk Podcast with your host, the Higher Gun. First, like, subscribe, share. How you doing, y'all? So, NXT was on last night. I enjoyed it. No surprises. Trick Williams wasn't on that last night, but it is what it is on that. I mean, he's not going to win the belt again. He's not beating over Finley for the belt because it's over Finley's time before he drops it to somebody else. But right now it's over Finley's time. I thought, truth be told, over Finley wasn't going to lose the North American title, and he was going to get both belts. Which they teased that last night with Over Finley and Tony D'Angelo, who's the North American champion, who's beat Over Finley twice. That is the only loss Over Finley has. Is against Tony. Alright? So they teased it. It might happen. It might not happen. Because I don't see Tony holding that North American title that much longer. And let me say this about him. Has he improved? Yes. His character, yes. But that character is not going to work. Whenever he gets called up, whenever Tony D'Angelo and the family gets called up, that shit ain't going to work on the main roster. It's one of the main fashions or gimmicks. I don't think it's gonna go on. Well, you know what? It's not one of them because the other gimmick, Chase University, is gone. So there's only one. It's only one gimmick that's not gonna work on the main roster, and it's the family and Tony. And the reason I say that about that is because you already got a mob family. Well, you already have a mob family on SmackDown. It's the bloodline, both bloodlines. So there wouldn't be no room for Tony and his group. And besides Tony, it's not really a group on there. I mean, it's not really a wrestler you take seriously. Because in all reality, you don't take Tony D'Angelo serious either, to a certain extent. even though he has a resume of who's even though he has a resume of who he's beaten, you know, he beat he beat Tomasa, and then Tomasa got caught up. He's beaten Obafemi twice, and no one has done, you know. So he has a resume of beating people before they get called up. I'm sure I'm missing some people he's beaten, but he's a Don. But I don't think that's gonna work on the main roster. You know, how it works in NXT. Because another thing, just because it works in NXT doesn't mean it don't work on the main roster. Because on NXT, and that even though NXT is getting better, we're traveling and going other places to see if that shit work. Right? It doesn't mean just because it works in Orlando don't mean it's gonna work for city to city. Now Overfemi, that shit's from the carry. Because another thing what they do in the NXT is they bring in their wrestlers to certain shows on the main roster. Like Overfemi was in SoCal. SoCal. He was in California. You know, with them on Raw a couple times too. You know, so was Trick. But so they're doing better with that. They're doing better with that. Speaking of NXT, Corey Graves was not on NXT at all last night, and they pulled them. All right, and I seen a question on Facebook. Yeah, I seen a question on Facebook. Who do you like more out of Corey Graves and Pat? You know, and a lot of people said Pat, right? And it's because Pat got a following, right? And Pat brings that energy that people like sometimes. Listen. I said this yesterday. I like Pat. I don't like Pat more than I like Corey Graves. Corey Graves is probably the best commentary guy. Period. In WWE, NXT, SmackDown, AEW, Corey Graves is probably the best commentary. Period. You know, and but he's not Pat when it comes to energy. That's all I'm gonna give him. Energy. Pat has that energy that people like. And me, I can deal without it. Me because Pat's stupid to me. I rather hear Pat talk about sports than talk about wrestling. Now, some people feel like this to lead into a match. So Pat wrestles off and on, and so does well, let me not say that because we haven't seen Corey Graves wrestle in a minute, right? So we can't really say that Pat wrestles. I mean, not Pat. We can't say that Corey Graves wrestles, even though he's been cleared for 3 years now. Pat's been not Pat. Corey Graves has been cleared for 3 years now. So we can't say he can't. He can't wrestle anymore because he can. You know. You know, we can't say Pat can't, not Pat, we can't say Corey Graves can't wrestle, because he can. You know, he can. He's been cleared for 3 years now. It's just nothing has arise from it. Now, when he debuted, last Tuesday, when they showed him on commentary, I didn't know how down and depressed he looked. How down and depressed he looked on commentary that day. Didn't know that. Didn't know he was sad like that. But you know, I said something. Uh, that day. It sounded like Boogie T and Corey were competing. You know, but then again, when I think about it now, like when I think about what happened on last week's episode, sometimes Corey Gray was quiet. You know, and I didn't see when they was patting that man on the back and everything, and how sad he looked at just being there. I didn't really think about that. It was, you know, and then I found out yesterday or last night. I should say last night. They took his pay-per-view spots away too. Like he won't be on certain, like he won't be on the pay-per-view spots now either. So they really did downgrade him over a part-time person. So when Corey Gray said what he said about, you're telling me I'm not famous enough, like that was a shot at Pat, you know, and then they can't just fire. Oh, I mean they could fire Corey if they wanted to, but they can't just I don't know. I don't know what they do. I don't know what they're gonna do with Corey Graves, because Corey Graves just signed back to them last year, like a whole new contract and stuff. So he just feels it was a slap in the face, which it was. Like I watch NXT and I like NXT, but NXT's not a third brand, right? It's still. I mean, it's a third show, yes, but it's not the big boys. You know, like it's not. It's a slap in the face. Now, this is the first time you've seen somebody upset about it, like getting moved to NXT. All right, because they did it with the arena announcer, Buddy, because he was on SmackDown, I think, and then he got moved to NXT, and you know he don't feel that way, or if he does, he doesn't say it. You know, but you know we'll see what happens with Corey Gray, because like they sent him home yesterday. So we'll see what happens with him. But they're gonna need him because Pat ain't gonna be there all the time. You know, like Pat's not gonna be there full time. He is now, because college football is winding down. You know, so like there's that. There's that. So Bailey was on NXT last night, and I can see Roxanne costing Bailey the match on Friday, because Bailey has a title match Friday. So I can see her. Bailey has a title match against Tiffany. Tiffany's not losing, alright? Especially when you heard that Tiffany has never beaten Bailey one-on-one. So Nia Jax is probably going to interfere in that match, but I can see Roxanne interfere in that match too. You know, I can see, because I think what's gonna happen. I think Bailey's gonna move to Raw. I mean, she was on Raw. She was on Raw Monday. You know, but she was on. So was Nia, but she was on Raw Monday. So Bailey's gonna be on SmackDown for a title shot. She was on NXT last night, starting something with. She was on NXT. I'm sorry, y'all. She was on NXT on last night to start something with Roxanne, and then like I said, she was on on Monday, starting stuff with Nia. So like, I'm not saying Nia's not going to interfere in that match because she is, right? But I don't think Nia's going to cause it be all. Roxanne's going to interfere in that match and cost Bailey the match because they gotta get it what's more important than anything right now when it comes to certain certain wrestlers in NXT is do they have a story when they get called up? So right off the bat, they already gave Roxanne a story when she get called up. Speaking of a story, so I thought the NXT and TNA relationship was over, but it's not because I'm not finna say her name because I'm a butcher. It's because she's Russian, and but the new TNA Women's Champion, she was there last night in NXT, and after that, her and Jade, not Jade Carl, the other Jade, had some Twitter beef. Jade said, "What the fuck are you looking at?" And the TNA Women's Champ bust out. You're not gonna like it when you find out. Alright? So there's that. And, I like Jade. Boy, do I like Jade. Alright? A lot. Jade's fine as... Okay? But Jade has taken L's before. Like, before she got hurt, and now. She's taking L. So, I don't think Jade's gonna win the TNA knockout title. I don't think that's gonna happen. But then again, it's just to showcase both women. Like on both platforms. Because Jade's probably going to show up to either Genesis for TNA, or this is a TNA show eventually. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I am happy the relationship is still intact. Like, people keep saying that WWE is gonna buy TNA eventually, which I'm not saying that might not happen eventually. Alright, if WWE keeps getting bigger and bigger. Now, what I will say, what's happening, like WWE is gonna pluck wrestlers from TNA. Eventually, because Jordan Grace is WWE bound. Period. Like Jordan Grace is WWE bound with no problem. Not even like no problem whatsoever. But so Jordan Grace is gonna get I mean, we can already say that her and her husband, alright, are gonna be there. Like either NXT or the Rumble. So there's two. Then regardless if TNA re-signs Joe Hendry, He's still gonna get not resigns. I'm sorry. Regardless, if they make him champion, right, right at Genesis, right, he's still gone. Right, he's still gone. Right, and Ziggler signed a new contract with like a new deal with TNA recently, so there's that too. But like we just want to see because they're gonna pluck them. Like the only reason the Hardy Boys are not with WWE right now because Triple H is probably still thinking about what happened last time they were there. Alright, like Triple H is still probably thinking about what happened when how Jeff got out of his contract to go to AEW. You know, it may be like Jeff and Jeff Hardy might be. Oh, I had to talk about something too. Now, Jeff and Matt might be on a good, like the greatest behavior right now, right? That may be true, right? But that don't mean bridges haven't been burned with WWE, and they can say all the nice stuff they want to say. But let me get to Jeff Hardy right quick. So people know how I feel about Jeff Hardy, right? Like people understand why. I mean, people understand that Jeff is a fuck up, right? And I think him, Matt Riddle, and RVD are in the same boat. They fuck ups. Like they could have had way more than what they are now. All right, and what Jeff said last week, which technically he said it Monday. But he said it last week. He said it last week, but it came out Monday. But what he said that in 2008 and 2009, he could have been bigger than John Cena. He's right. He's right. He the timetable of what we're talking about. Jeff Hardy could have been bigger than John Cena. Yes. If he had a different lifestyle. Because in all reality, Jeff Hardy fucked up Jeff Hardy. It wasn't booking. It wasn't it wasn't booking. It wasn't injuries or anything that fucked up Jeff Hardy. No, Jeff Hardy fucked up Jeff Hardy. Like around the 2008-2009 year, Jeff Hardy was a rock star. Literally a rock star. He became champion, and then he lost it, and then he became champion again. And then the guy was the limit, but he didn't want it like that. Like he didn't. Like he left, and then the first thing that happened, his house got raided. Right, and even when that stuff happened, Jeff Hardy still became TNA champ a couple times in TNA. Alright. But even when that stuff happened to him, he was still selling, he was still the top merch seller in WWE and TNA. Alright, so he could have been much bigger than he is. The only thing I'm gonna give John Cena or Jeff Hardy back then is promos. And then what happened with Jeff Hardy? What happened with Jeff Hardy? They kind of fixed his promo style. They just did promos in the back, alright, like promos in the back, and it was better because it would have looked like Jeff Hardy just didn't do promos in front of a big crowd, But again, that's the only thing I'm gonna give John Cena. but it didn't matter back then, right? Because Jeff Hardy was still getting over it. Well, like when I say this, I'm not saying he's bigger than John Cena, but Jeff Hardy would have been a better Jey Uso right now, right? Like Jeff Hardy would have been a better Jey Uso right now, right? Because it's pretty much the same thing with them two. Alright, but Jeff Hardy would have been bigger, like way bigger, and a better moveset. Right? Because like Jeff doesn't have to rely on spamming super kicks to get over it, like Jeff Hardy. I mean, even now Jeff Hardy has a better moveset than Jey Uso, which so. But Jeff Hardy sells merch too, a lot of merch. All right, and he's just a bigger pause. He's the better Hardy brother. Always has been. And like even back then, Triple H didn't trust Jeff Hardy because he knew he would fuck it up. He knew it, but he was so over. They couldn't stop that from happening. And so when he says that he could have been bigger than John Cena, he's not lying. Like he's not. It's true. It's true. And like the people who are Cena fans, God bless you. All right, because y'all just don't forget that how much John Cena wasn't liked by people back then. Right? We just don't turn a blind eye to John Cena just like back then. Because you had to be a diehard John Cena fan. John Cena fan to like him still. I mean back then. Let's not look at what's happening now, because what's happening now is just a glorified nostalgia for John Cena, right? It's the same thing that happened with The Rock, right? Because The Rock was getting booed out of buildings at one point when he decided he wanted to do movies over wrestling, right? Remember that? Or when he had the world title and over, they were booing The Rock then. It's the same shit with John Cena right now. Like John Cena has went away, he's came back, and all forgotten. It's kind of the same thing what happened with Roman. Right? But like John Cena went away, he comes back, he loses some matches. Now all's forgotten now, and everybody loves John Cena, like he's new again, or like he's a rookie again, or like he's third life again, right? Cena can't do wrong right now, right? Like let's not forget there was a period of time people didn't like John Cena, right? If you wasn't 12 and down, you didn't like John Cena. So what Jeff Hardy said, he's not lying. Like if he had a better lifestyle back then, Jeff Hardy would be insanely popular than John Cena. Sorry, y'all. John Cena. Way more popular than John Cena. Right? It's just Jeff Hardy messed up Jeff Hardy and his lifestyle, and just didn't burn out. Just didn't burn. And what makes it so funny about him being burned out because of the schedule for the WWE, it's way more or less of a schedule now for the WWE now. Like it's far more or less than what it was. So tonight, it's the AEW. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna come in here tomorrow, cause I'm gonna see. Yeah, if some more stuff break out, we'll see. Um, we talk about Jey Uso right quick. So we knew Jey Uso was gonna be at the main event this one coming up because he's on the poster, right? And uh, he's gonna fight Gunther for the world title. Now, there's ways around this. Now, Gunther keeps saying that Jay's never beaten him. Jay's never beaten him, which is true. He hasn't. The two times they fought for the IC title, Gunther beat him. Now, both times it wasn't clean when Gunther beat him. So there's an out for this. There's an out for this now to protect Jay. Okay. The out is Drew McIntyre is gonna interfere in this match. That's the out. That's the out. Because you can't have Jey Uso lose clean to Gunther again. I mean, lose to Gunther for a third straight time. Because here's the thing: either Jay's finna beat Gunther for a short, either Jay's finna beat Gunther, and this is gonna be a short reign, like his IC title reign, which is cool. That can happen. Or something's gotta happen for Jay to win but not get the belt. Right? Like that gotta happen now. So one of those things has to happen here. Because Jay can't lose clean. Can't happen. Right? Like Jay can't be that guy that loses clean to Gunther at the main event. It can't happen. But I'm gonna end the show with that. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share. Make sure y'all watch wrestling. Make sure y'all watch EFBC. Make sure y'all watch New Brew. We just came out with another episode last night, so make sure you guys catch it. This is the High Gun. God bless. Love you. I'm out.